Everybody? All right. I think I'm all good. Yep. Didn't do a countdown again tonight because I had a brilliant idea about how to set up the stream, and so I was working on that. Then I realized at the last minute, or to change the way I set up the stream, it wouldn't work at all. So I had to go back and fix everything, and then I'm like, I needed that 10 minutes to get set up. Do have a question that I'll throw out there, and even if you're watching this after the fact, answering in the chat's not going to help me tonight, but either DM me somewhere or drop it in the actual comment, the real comment section under this video. We're trying to figure out how to run a stream where two people are running, and so when Dave's here, he could be producing the stream, but that I could still be seeing everything, and I know it's possible, and we just haven't figured out how to do it. My idea tonight was that Dave would take my monitor that has all the controls on it, I would turn that towards him, and he could just run it, and I could just see what was happening on the top screen I used. That's why I'm always looking up the dual monitor things, and then I realized, no, then he couldn't see what he was looking at when he went to pull up browser windows and all that. And the chat's only on one window, so I know there's a way to daisy chain computers together. Gamers do it, but when gamers do it, they're just mirroring the one onto there, so it's not the solution we need. We both need to be able to see everything, and I haven't figured that out yet. But I know podcasters are doing it, and everyone else is doing it, and my research is completely dead-end me on that. So yeah, already dual monitors. That's just not the right solution because you need dual monitors to run the stream. So you need a third monitor for someone who could potentially run it, you know. Anyways, yeah, Dave. There's Dave. I was thinking I would just turn this monitor around and you could run the stream with OBS. Then I realized you wouldn't be able to see what you were pulling up on the internet, and so I'm like, oh, that doesn't work.
Then you wouldn't be able to see anything either.
Yeah, so we'll figure it out. We just so Dave, like if and what's up, Dave? If the whole thing is if someone tries to do it through an internet connection instead of hardwired to each other, there's so much latency between the live stream. Just like you guys know when I show bike photos and I'm talking about them, by the time you guys are making the comments, I already move on and I have to slow down. It could be, what were you saying, Dave? Was it like 30 seconds last week at least difference?
Up to. That might have just been my phone too.
Yeah. But that's what I could tell from the way the chat goes, that it's always almost that long. So they need to be, the computers need a piece of hardware between them that makes them so they could run off each other. Like, I've just been watching Gerald Undone, if you guys follow that tech nerd guy, and he's been touring people's studios, and I'm watching like their setups for live streaming and podcasting, and I'm like, everyone's looking at a computer that has the same thing, and other people can take control, or two people are taking control, so there's a way to do it. But anyway, I'm going to drop that topic. Just wanted it in the beginning in case someone already knows an easy solution, but what's wrong?
What's up with your ratio there?
Oh, the overlay's not showing up. That's weird. Huh. Just realized that none of our little overlays are showing up. And I don't know why. Let me go to a different view and see what happens. So that's still there? Yeah, Stream Elements is not working. Well, that's why I always try and do this stuff early.
Talking about getting all fancy.
Trying to get fancy.
Basics don't work.
Yeah. Man. It's always something. I guess I'll just make my picture full screen for the night, and we don't have an overlay, I guess.
Saying the audio's whack too, but
talking about getting all fancy. Trying to get fancy. Basics don't work. That sounds normal. Whacked? Is it just too...
Sounds good through here.
Yeah. Well, I'll do a rundown of what's up, and then we'll see if we could fix any problems that exist. So yeah. Sorry if you usually watch the chat through that overlay window, because it's not working. Full screen me tonight, sorry guys. Yeah, anyways, what's up, Raymond? What's up, Large? Scott said he took some friends out on an industrial gravel style ride and they loved it. That's rad to hear. Interesting that Stream Elements is working in the chat, but not on the overlay. Some nights it's like this. Yeah, Rick's the one who said the audio is whacked. And anyone else, let me know. Dave pulled it up on his phone. It sounded fine to us, but Malk said he runs a USB keyboard for editing at work and a Bluetooth keyboard, both connected at the same time. Yeah. I guess the idea is like having, so I hooked it up tonight as long as it works. You know, Dave's over here, so if he could be kind of like, especially when I have guests, be the one over there running everything. So he needs to be able to see monitors too. That's why if we were able to hook two computers together, you know, that would be a different thing that we need. Whatever. Hey, what's up, Patty? He said audio is okay on his laptop. Malk said 3 monitors. I don't think I have a... Yeah, we've thought about that, and there's one needs to be mirrored, and I would need to figure out, and I haven't seen a way to do that the right way, but... Jay Danny said he should have suggested tequila night. Pudgy. What's up? I haven't checked out Malk's new video yet, but I did see that it got dropped because I saw it was shared in the Discord. Me and Dave have actually been upstairs all evening, like we're redoing the studio, tearing down walls, building up new walls, so that's been the evening, so. Oh, he said it sounds like HVAC. That mic is picking up the fan over there. Do you mind going and plug that fan? It's all the way in the back corner. It has no switch. You just have to pull the plug out of the wall. It's an old fan that's busted. I know what you're talking about, Rick. You have good ears. What's up, Danny? Dirty Life and Times. Hey, Ames, how you doing? Oh, that Patty heard the fan too. That's exactly what it was. That's one of the first things I usually do is turn it off. The air gets real stale down here without a fan running, and I just kind of forgot. In my thinking that I had a genius idea for the stream, that turned out to be awful. So before you got here, Dave, I had that monitor on your thing and the mic on your thing, and I'm like, I'll just put the keyboard over there. And I was like, that won't work at all. John, good morning from the other side of the world. What's up? Rick mailed a turd for the shelf. I've got to mail a turd for New Dave. Did I miss anyone? Oh, Chris McCollum's up in here. Unfortunately, Pudgy, I think I might, well, Stream Elements isn't working tonight. I might try one of the other ones too, like those services that do the overlay, because I do like when you watch Pathless Pedaled and Terry B, and I don't know who they use, like when they're talking about a comment, if you guys have ever watched them, how they pull it up on screen. I don't have the ability with Stream Elements, and I think that'd be a really cool feature to be able to do it, so whoever I'm addressing, that comment could be up there, and I don't know, maybe they have something where the channel member thing would actually read out loud. So another thing to look into. Like I said, the studio roof is leaking. And that started happening after I started already ripping down walls. And so it's just one of those, I start a project and then like 10 other pop up, and then doing like minor things to make the live stream a little better get pushed farther down the list. Christopher Webb, you said you're not noticing any delay. Yeah, the delay's not it's just for me. Like what I'm saying right now, you're not hearing for like 30 seconds, or it's always a little different. It's just with everything going from my software to YouTube and down to you guys, it's just not instantaneous. It's not like a Zoom call. It just, because there's more going on, I believe. But New Dave gets a real poo. Did I hear about the Lance Armstrong thing? Do I think he's doping? Christopher Webb asks. I did see GCN's video today where they were going to jump into the whole, like, why are some dopers still loved and why are others hated? And I'm like, I don't even need to watch that just to know, as I've said on the stream a bunch of times, Lance Armstrong is an awful human being. That's why people don't like him. Yes, everybody was doping. Lance Armstrong would have been a horrible human being whether he was doping or not. He's a sociopath. So read any book from anyone who ever wrote with him. Like, nobody likes him. So what's up, Balancing Bike Life? Jay Dandy said Malk's video is high energy. Probably check it out after the stream tonight. I did just watch Traveling Through's new video, though, before I came down. He's bike touring through Connecticut, and not the exact same areas that me and Ben went through, but the roads were pretty similar and really pretty, too. So Slow Cyclist said I should organize a big group ride. You'd love to ride with us, guys. We did one in the spring, and we've talked about doing one later in the summer. Me and Aaron were talking today about working out our weekends and our plans. The idea is to do a bike swap at Dirty River. Like bike swap. What do you call that? Part swap? Parts? Help me out, Dave. Like where everyone people have a table and you have like the bike parts that you want to sell. And
Swap's in there.
yeah, swap's in that word, but it's not bike swap, right? Bike
Sure.
parts swap? Is that all it's called?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, doing whatever that thing is called, and then we talked about doing bike portrait photos, kind of like Dirty River had a bike show a couple months ago, and I took a couple photos. We were talking about having a setup space so you could get a cool portrait with your bike, and then doing a group ride after that. But so yeah, last time he had that, I did a ride the night before to try and to tie in with it, and yeah, a couple friends came out from Pittsburgh. Bunch of my friends came out, so we had a good group. Rode out to Hop and Frog Brewery, hit the industrial gravel. So yeah, hoping to do it again. I'm not big into organizing stuff on a very like high and organized level. Just me and Large have both found out that turns out we're not people who are really into, like, we like going to some events, but turns out we get too stressed out by doing big things. So I like the loose base thing. So it's kind of like what we did with the last one is like, if you were at the studio at 3 o'clock, we were riding this route, and then we were going to kind of moderate the pace and the route by who showed up, but keeping it really loose and easy. But yeah, I wouldn't mind doing something like that again. So, and then again, like I always say, Dirty River has a ride every single Sunday, and then Yeti's on the Loose. Like I've done a couple videos recently. They do one. They don't do it every month, but the goal is like one Saturday a month. That's something longer and a little more interesting. So those are all posted on Facebook. If you have a Facebook, that's where to check it out. If not, I'll try and keep up, because I realized for the last couple I didn't post them when I was going to go to the Yetis on the Loose in the Discord, and I should have. But the Sunday Yeti ride is every single Sunday. I don't make most of those, though, because I like to sleep in on Sunday. But let's see what else we get. Dave said work always gets in the way. That's been Pudgy's. Pudgy's had like been cursed with us trying to get together, and every time we plan something, I think. Pudgy said, Tim, pump track day over Labor Day weekend. Last time you asked, I know that date was still free, and I need to double check it. But like, text me or DM me later so I could double check it and not do it now when I'm not going to remember anyways. What's up, Patrick Fraley? Malk, you said you're trying to figure out how to feature fits and traveling on your channel, but haven't figured it out yet. Well, you're not that far away, so even a mutual meeting place to do it. Traveling Through is always out on the road and seems to like to do his own thing, but I'd definitely be down to do it. Patrick Fraley said swap meet. Yeah, I guess you just throw bike into the word swap meet, right? Bike swap meet. I still feel like there's another term for when people have like a bike parts trade. They just did one in Pittsburgh with Liberation Fab and a couple other people. Our Liberation hosted it at their shop, so yeah. Rick said it's a spit swap. That's something different. Oh, speaking of doing a group ride together, Yinzer's up here. So yeah, Yinzer came out from Pittsburgh to ride with us. So everyone's saying swap meet. Patty said we call them a bike swap meet. I guess that's it. I guess when you think about something too much, it starts to sound weird. And yeah, that's what I'm doing. Pudgy. Swippy swappy, says Andrew, the technical term. Jay Danny said traveling through slept under a bridge. You could always make things work when you have to. Yeah, I've watched traveling through on his channel sleep in a number of like places. Like when he slept in a bridge, like when he's like way out west or somewhere, and it's like a train bridge or something. This was like a bridge like right in town with a narrow path. I thought that was pretty crazy. So yeah, definitely check out Traveling Through's channel if you guys haven't. But Caitlin's, that's Steitzer. Hey, what's up? Party size. Here's a person who does plan stuff. It takes a special level of stupidity to willingly plan events. Yeah, and you would know. Yeah, I know. I've tried to do them like when I do them isn't in a way that makes it like easy because I was just talking about, and that's where the topic for the title of this video came from. Me and Micah were riding last night, and he's talking about a brewery he's been doing the design work for down in Louisville, Ohio. They have a running group, and they were talking about maybe doing a bike ride and stuff like that. And he was like, one of the problems with like organizing some bike events, especially if they get a little bigger, is the people who organize them never get to enjoy them. And so he was trying to figure out a way. It's like people who love to ride bikes and want to organize events should also be able to participate in them, which has always been one of my things. Like when we did the industrial gravel ride a little while ago, or just did like the smaller, like fun meetup ride. But yeah, once you start to plan stuff so much and you have aid stations and I don't know, check-ins and all that, then it feels like the organizers and the volunteers don't get to actually enjoy the event, right? So party size, I know some of yours are more like what I'm talking about, like the, coffee outsides or, totally drawing a blank, even though I see your posts about the one you do on Friday nights. But yeah, like it's a much more like meet at this time, we're all riding together. So traveling through hooked up with a bridge troll, look it up. Malk said traveling through is the most interesting man in the world. Yeah, I'm hoping to get to meet him someday. I was out in Philly, but when me and Rick got a ride together, but I don't think he was there when we did. So Arthur said Labor Day Gateway Cup races. If anyone will be in St. Louis on Labor Day. Did I say Labor Day twice in that sentence? Swap meets MEATS. Bouncing bike life. Hey, what's up, Ron? Stuff. Bike jumble, Matt Ford? I've definitely never heard the bike
I
jumble.
was just looking that up.
Oh, you were looking up bike jumble?
That's pretty solid.
Oh, it's a thing, huh? Yeah, I don't know. I like the idea, like when it comes to group rides, and this is what I tried to do with when we did the industrial gravel ride. What was that, 2022? Early summer 2022? Was like the idea that it's like Higher Ground and Nutmeg have done where, like Ronnie who plans Nutmeg, where it's just a GPX file and it's like, just go and ride it. And Higher Ground did have like a central aid station, which was cool, which was one of the shop guys was there. And then, what's her name owns Crust Bike, and a couple people were manning like an aid station, and everyone rolled out at the same time for that one, but it was just kind of like you go and ride it, didn't have to be marked and all that kind of stuff. But with the industrial gravel ride, there weren't like, it wasn't a ton of people, I think maybe 30, and me and Large and everyone still felt like we had to take care of everyone. So it was that I guess it's just a personality thing where it's hard to be like, no, really, like just show up and like this is the route. We'll be able to meet up for like lunch and like a couple spots, like the Rubber Bowl when that still existed. Or those you don't know who they've completely dismantled it now, but yeah. So maybe it's just not in my personality to be able to handle that. It just feels like way too much pressure. Raymond said, "How about the guy who organized the Barkley Marathon?" But he doesn't run the like. He doesn't like. He just like organizes it and people show up, right? That's. I would like to just organize something. I ride too, but then there's no. I don't know. You just don't have to worry about everybody. That sounds really bad, but it's not. Not exactly what it means. Oh, and Cheech is who owns Cross Bikes. That's right. Me and my one friend Aaron Novak, who's been riding with me lately, have talked about that. He has a house like right on the edge of downtown Akron that actually has an orchard, and he's like, people could camp here. Then we're like, yeah, one of Dirty River hosted a party the night before, and then there was the ride. People who paid for the camping could come back to the house. We could have a food truck and a porta potty, and then again, I was like, that'd be really awesome. That'd really be fun, and I would like to show off some of the stuff we have in Akron. Then I'm like, it also sounds like a massive pain in the ass when I already run my own business, and everything I do is like that. Everything I do is running everything myself. So, because that's nice to have some help now, but yeah. So it's, you think about it, and then you think about it again. You're like, I already have to deal with way too much. Do I want to deal with this, or is there a way to do it that's less impact? I don't know. Oh, the Barkley Marathon got sold? Huh. It'll be in England? Interesting. Yeah, Caitlin, I watched the 781 videos. That's I haven't watched the latest one, but I watched the Pathless Pedaled interview with him and the adventures. But those are paid too. Like, I think there's, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think there's a fee to go on those that he organizes, where, and again, if we were doing like the camping one with my friend Aaron and like a whole involved thing, there would definitely be a fee, and then there'd also be some giveaways. The ones we've done so far are kind of like a let's show up and ride together type thing. Uh, but yeah, the more when you charge people, then you also change the expectations to be even higher. So that's another thing to consider. Rick asked a question. He said, how can you determine the widest tires you could put on a given bike? If it's a more modern bike, the manufacturer will tell you, and then you could usually go 2 to 6 millimeters wider than what they've told you. The problem is tires aren't all measured the same. Rims are all different. And people ask me this about, like, because of my vintage bike videos that still get viewed. And, like, so when I get, like, 35s onto a vintage road bike, they're like, how do I know? And I'm like, I'm lucky I have old tires sitting around, and I save some old tires and I put them on. So yeah, your chain stays will be the limiting factor, Rick. But you can't, without trying them, you can't. There's no true answer, because even what a tire says on the sidewall is not necessarily the size it's going to be. Then it's not necessarily the size it's going to be on the rim you're using, and yeah, and the manufacturers like to go conservative with what they say a bike will clear. So, like I said, if it's a modern bike, you could read their spec sheet and then probably go a little bit wider, but without trying it, you don't know. I've even at the bike shop, I've seen that happen where they've read the spec sheet, they've read the tire, the diameter of the wheel, everything should work. It doesn't work. So that's a frustrating answer, but trial and error is really the only true way. So it's not a dumb question. It's actually a real pain in the ass for everybody who wants to try and max out their tires. If I did everything the day before like nutmeg, it wouldn't be too hard to do. That was just last year though, right? Because, the year we both went, it was actually extremely organized and planned out a little farther ahead of time. And he said he's doing that again this year. So, I mean, he put out that email like 2 months ago saying they were already planning nutmeg. So we'll see what happens. I like party size answer. If it fits, you sit. You'll know if it's too wide. Yeah. The blue Peugeot that I made a video about, I put 38s on there, and the front was 38 and the back was, and seemed like it was fine. And then after riding like 2 miles, it started rubbing the chainstays as they must have kind of like compressed and widened out a little bit, and I had to put a different tire on it. So, but again, that's some early 80s bike that I was putting a tire on that was never even meant for that kind of rim, and so you're just guessing. Yeah. You all are useful as bolteds. Depends on what you're into, I guess. Oh, David said he has got his organized ride for his development tomorrow. So, nice. Yeah, so David, is that the new... your picture confused me because you had that picture of the Ignite Tap House, and I'm like, wait, he doesn't live in Barberton. And then last night I was at Ignite in Barberton taking a leak, and in the bathroom I saw that it said, oh, check out our Brunswick tap room. I had no idea. So when you dropped that photo in the Discord, it was one thing that I'm like, I need to ask a question about this, because he's like, finally walked over. I'm like, walked over 55 miles or whatever. Like, so, yeah, now it makes a lot more sense. So, yeah, Arthur, you're right. Brakes could be a factor too. Rear derailleur's usually not an issue in max clearance. Like I said, the chainstay's almost always going to be your limiting factor in the tire that you can get in the rear, and you could usually get a wider tire in the front than in the back. But again, that just depends. That's where brakes may play more of a role, I think. But I like balancing bikes. Life's idea. Let somebody else organize it and you show up as the celebrity rider. Yeah, party size. That's exactly what I was thinking in my head. If you charge for a group ride, you're going to need insurance, and then you have a duty to provide safety. And that's why you sign waivers for all those events and all that kind of stuff. And waivers are always interesting because technically you can't sign away your rights for certain things like safety, but whatever. Everyone does it. It's better than no legal protection, I guess. Yinder said, love Pathless Pedaled, but Russ seems more and more bitter about GCN these days. He's always just kind of used them as the opposite of what he is for a long time. Yeah. I feel like, he's got a huge following on his own, but it's just a way to, he does it for a living. It's a way to market himself and, show that he's doing something totally different. And he does, you know what I mean? He's the biggest channel doing like the kind of stuff he does, and he's really good at it. I feel like it could be dropped at this point. I feel like you're making a living, you're moving to Spain making the living you're making on YouTube. Like, who cares about GCN and the big guys, Like, there's tons of cool stuff. There's tons of little guys that are supporting you. When he comes out with new cool stickers, I like to buy them. That's the way I support him. But I don't believe he's actually bitter about it. I think it's more of just the trying to show the attitude and differentiating, but I don't know Russ, so. Oh, and now Rick's trying to get information about some old Trek folding bike. Like any of us could help you with that. I mean, the best bet is to go to a shop that has some 20-inch tires and ask them their opinion, Oh, Caitlin said she thinks 718 charges about $35. That's very reasonable for someone to do some organizing, keep expectations reasonably low. I need to change the title of this YouTube video already to organizing bike rides or something. My other clickbait title, One Bike to Rule Them All, we haven't even talked about it. Shane B said, you promoted a bike event a few years ago, a ton of work, never again. Yeah, and there's like weekly ones that do a really good job. Bike Slow Roll up in Cleveland, but they have like a group. Like I see like the people organizing, it seems like there must be 15 to 20 people that are kind of sharing the load, and they get huge turnouts in the summer. But that's kind of a different thing too, like a group ride through the city versus, I don't know. So probably a little easier. And everyone gets to ride with their rides, but. Oh, David said the vegan cyclist, who I try to watch. He does really cool stuff, but that dude's personality grates my skin like nobody else. Like, I mean, when he was in, sorry, I'm going to tell this story anyways. When me and Ben were large, we're watching one of his videos where he's in France, and it was one of his really cool, whatever he calls his epic challenge things. But he just keeps talking about like, and then there was like, this like French woman looking out the window. It's like, yeah, the people looking out the window in France are French. That's how it freaking works. And then he's freaking out about the bakeries not having anything vegan. It's like, in a small town in France, you're not going to find anything baked without butter. Like, that's just, have some common goddamn sense. Like, if you're going to go to France as a vegan and go to the small towns, you're probably going to have to plan ahead, or anywhere in the world. Like, and I said, a ton of friends who are vegan do everything to accommodate them. We go to the places that, even when they don't want to, try to make sure we go to those places. I'm said vegetarian at home. It's nothing against veganism. It's just against someone not having common sense. Like, and then like just repeating stupid stuff over and over. Sorry. He does really cool stuff, but I just can't watch him because of his personality. But I hope he's watching this. F that dude, I can't stand him. I just realized how much I really don't like that guy. And it's like, I want to watch those videos because he does cool stuff, and I just can't stand him. Everyone say I talk about that, though, all the time. Like, me and Large talk about, there's some channels I like, and he's like, I don't hit it off with that guy's personality. And I'm sure there's plenty of people who have flipped on one of my videos, and they're like, I don't like that guy. I don't jive with him. That's nothing wrong with that. That guy's just especially annoying. If anyone dislikes me as much as they like as I dislike the vegan cyclist, I might be doing something wrong. What was the actual point of that? Before I go off on my rant. Oh, charging versus free rides and how much insurance is a pain in the ass. But yeah. Oh, Pudgy, you were saying Nutmeg's registration is the day before? No, it wasn't the year we all went down there. We were signed up for that like a month out. We had planned all around it. Yeah, last year's was super last minute, though. That was I think it was a different case, though, because they weren't allowed to use the farm they planned to use. Yeah, Caitlin, and so 718, I watched the live stream with Russ and then started watching his videos after that. But some of the routes they've done and where they've even camped there is before I knew about him, is where we went when I was in New York last year doing like Old Croton and stuff like that, which is so, so cool. Party size off to bed. See you later. Yeah, Rick, we've had a nice stretch of weather out here too. It's finally been cool and less humid. It's been really nice sleeping weather at night. Like 60 degrees. It's been getting down nice and chilly, but still being warm enough during the day. What's up, Mile High? Oh, bike movies? We're going to go back to bike movies. Yeah, but it is relevant because of Pee-wee. And what's Pee-wee's real name? I've read it 1,000 times over the last 2 days, and I just forgot. Rob?
No.
It's not Rob? I even went and read the New York Times obituary when he passed away, and I already can't think of his real name. And it's funny because as I read every single headline, I'm like, do you always have to just say Pee-wee? Just like with Sinead O'Connor dying, every single headline had to say nothing compares to you, and I'm like that's the only thing she ever did. Like this one made 10 great records, and only that song we're going to talk about, which I love. But so what is Pee-wee's actual name? No,
It's Paul Rubens.
Paul Rubens, yeah.
But that's all he really did. That and Beat Off Enough.
He got famous for beat. He was beaten off in a porno? Was it a porno theater or just a regular? I don't think
Does it matter?
Yeah. Does it matter? Yeah. I think it does matter if
Yeah,
it's a porno
context,
theater or a
I
regular
guess.
theater. A regular theater is way worse. I mean, why does anyone watch porn besides jerking off? I don't even understand why porn theaters exist. Especially because that was, well, I guess that was still before the internet was really,
That was a while ago.
yeah. And that wouldn't have been as big of a story either if he wasn't Pee Wee Herman doing a kid's show, you know. So
True.
I think. Do you remember what he did after that happened? How he came out at, it was either the Grammys or the Oscars?
No.
So he walked out there and he's like, and you talked to some people like, what am I going to do? Like, I'm the laughing stock of everything. And he walked out and he's like, anyone heard any good jokes lately?
Yeah.
So it was
Yeah.
brilliant. It was brilliant. But, yeah. He was in Blow. He did some movies that he was really good in. He was actually a really good actor.
He did a few things and then came back as Pee Wee after everything settled down. And
Reading the, like, besides like a couple jokes on here, I haven't seen anyone like really reference that much. It's been buried in the articles, but like, it seems like he restored his reputation pretty well.
oh yeah,
Anyway.
he wasn't hurting nobody.
Yeah. I mean, we gotta self-pollinate once in a while. Wow. Dude. Really changed the title of the stream.
I don't think anybody's gonna get that.
Yeah, no. That was, what was his name? Tom. First made that joke. Hey, did this all start for, oh no, the bike movie comment. I was going to say, it could have been Rick's weather comment. Matt Ford said, keeping expectations reasonably low stream title. Yeah. It's funny, that's always the thing. It's like because there are nights where I get on here and the chat's not going right away, and so it's like good to have a talking point. So coming up with a title is a good idea, but maybe I just axe that and save it for next week. Wait, what saddle is the best would be a better time? Yeah, what saddle is the best? Yeah. Oh, Yenzer. So no, haven't nailed down a date for a ride yet. And then my friend Albert, who runs Akron Coffee, is also, and me and Michael were talking about this last night. His coffee ride hits sometime late summer in the fall and hasn't nailed it down. So no, I do want to do another meetup, and we haven't nailed down a date yet. So I need to just pick one, because once I have it on the calendar, then I'll do it, and I won't schedule anything else. So maybe that's a good thing to get done this week, is pick one so I can put it out there to anyone who wants to try and make arrangements to be out here and all that stuff. Mulk Spikes. Can't do vegan cyclists. And J Dandy, bro, don't diss VC, bro. Oh, I'm glad, I'm not glad some of you don't like. Vegan Cyclist has plenty of followers. He's a full timer, right? So he doesn't need if a few of us are annoyed by him, that's cool. More power to him. He has 50 or 100 times more popular YouTube channel than I do. So he's doing something right. Just something that I hate. So. Yeah, that's what it is, David. The rides are really cool. Let me see if I could try and speed up and get up back on topic. Patty said when Francis Cade, and that's actually who, it's funny, Francis Cade, who I was referencing when I said I like Francis Cade. Like there's some videos I don't watch. There's definitely a road event there that it doesn't always interest me, but I feel like he's made his channel personality driven enough and entertaining enough, especially with the sidekick now, whatever his name is. Man, I'm a really good follower. But I like Francis Cade, and I know it's like not the people are split on him too, but. So he hung out with the vegan cyclist. That knocks him down a peg. I'm just kidding. That's what my takeaway is.
Unsubscribe.
Yeah, unsubscribe. I'm not. I've only had. I mean, I've had 2 beers, but that first one was over 3 hours while we tore down studio walls. Jeffrey Shanks. Well, this is more on topic with the title of the video is. Said going on vacation to Gettysburg. Which bike do I take? The race bike to ride Maryland and back, the XC bike for night rides, or the vintage touring bike for comfortable mixed terrain rides? And so there you go. That was kind of the idea, like the one bike to rule them all. Where you say vintage touring bike for comfortable mixed terrain rides. I feel like I would ride the bike that you could do the most on. Like you take the race bike, then you're limiting yourself to the off-road from doing the off-road stuff. But I don't want to go too far on this topic right now because I'm not even close to being through the comments. Malk said he wanted to like Duzer's channel until he met him and he was a total dick. Huh. Yeah, he's kind of the same with me. I subscribed to his channel, watched a couple videos, and his personality doesn't jive with me either. I know a lot of people on here have talked about him before and they don't like him, but I'm sure that's not everybody. Oh, there's Rick already. I did test ride Duzer. Patty said I arrived in France in 1992 a vegan and left a few months later a carnivore. It would be hard to, even eating vegetarian in France would be hard. Obviously if you're in any major city, it's not going to be that different because there's everything. It's not like Paris only has French cooking. You go get pizza, you get whatever you want. So. Oh, gotcha, Pudgy. About nutmeg. Totally. Francis is cool. Julie Elliott is cool, too. I watched some Julie Elliott. Yeah. Oh, well, that's how far back I am that everyone just telling me Paul Rubens. I've been to Gettysburg. I would have to pull it up on a map to know where in PA it is. I actually don't even. But Brian Paul saying there's a lot of gravel roads up there. Oh, Malk bought this little girl a Pee Wee box. You know what's so funny? I never watched Pee Wee. Like, when that came on Saturday, it was Saturday mornings, right? After the cartoons. Like, it never really struck a note with me. I watched, but I liked the movie, Pee Wee's Big Adventure, and then, like, Rick said Pee Wee was great in the cocaine movie, which is called Blow, but which was an awesome movie. So Shane B said Duzer is a great storyteller. I feel like I need to give him more of a chance. I watched a couple videos that I wasn't that crazy about. Then everybody on the stream when I was first starting out called him a douchebag. So kind of like, oh, these are people I respect calling him a douchebag, so he must be. Chris said it was an adult theater, yeah. David Keller said regular theater, porn theater, it's all semantics. Yeah, I guess it just depends on what you're into, right? I'm not going to kink shame people. All right, Blow is always good. A lot of Pee Wee comments. Let's get caught up. I know some of these are going to be funny. I'm going to skip them to try and get caught up. Pudgy said Duzer puts on a good show, but in real life he's a total prick. Huh. Heroin Blow is the worst. Cam Carr said Duzer is a fake for sure. Huh. Interesting. I need to look at his chat. Is he that popular that he's like a celebrity that could like be cool on YouTube and a dick in real life? It's weird about YouTube. Like, I don't feel like anyone's that different from who they really are. Like, I don't know. Like, me and Dave sitting here doing this is what it'd be like if you were hanging out with us, whether the cameras were on or not. As you could probably tell. I've seen Pee Wee's bike in Pittsburgh, Bicycle Heaven, yeah. Have you been there, Dave?
Mm-mm.
That's a cool, pretty cool spot. Rick said I always eat meat when I ride. Why would I watch vegan cyclists? I don't think, well, from anything I've ever watched, besides him being like annoying about like, oh, I don't know where I'm gonna get my food, like type stuff, he doesn't seem like that's the emphasis of his channel. Maybe that's how it started, but Jimmy is Francis Cade's sidekick. That's right. Now he changed the name of the channel to Cade Media from Francis Cade. Yeah. Mile High said, I have to see this vegan cyclist now. Yeah, good luck. Maybe you'll love him. I don't know. Like I said, a lot of people do. So, I mean, it's doing something right. Just. Yeah, Pudgy, I would be curious to, like, I'm actually not going to judge Duzer, like, based on, like, I always feel this about celebrities. I've talked about this before, I think even on the stream. But, like, you always hear, like, one person, like, I was at the airport and I tried to talk to Jim Carrey and he was a dick to me. It's like, well, was he trying to catch a flight after 50 other people talked to him? And what kind of mood are you in when you're at the airport? So, and I'm not discounting at all what you said, Pudgy. I'm just saying, it's hard to judge it with people who are like known and get recognized what the case is. I don't feel like Duzer should be big enough that if someone recognizes him, he can be a dick, you know. But when it comes to like really extremely popular people, I'm like, oh, someone's going about their life and they, for one moment, are maybe having a bad day and aren't in the mood to talk to a fan. Obviously, that's something that goes with celebrity, but yeah, I try not to judge, you know, on that kind of thing. But who knows? Cam, oh, what?
No, go ahead.
All right. Cam Carr said, has anyone watched Fly Scout Rider? I have not. Malk said, Rick, you need a channel called Meat Cyclist. There's got to be someone who's already done that, right? Rick's Meat Cycle. Beefy Bikes with Rick. Shane V said, drink another one. It's getting good. Yeah, get it like the early days of the stream. If anyone has never heard the abort or doesn't know where the abort joke come from, it was like in the winter of 2020, like must have been like getting close to after midnight, and we had been streaming, and Kenny dropped off a crowler from Missing Falls that I cracked after already drinking, and just was so wasted. I guess I just zoned out and was just staring at the screen so bad that Large Marge told me he thought the stream froze. And he texted me abort. My phone rang, it snapped me out of it. I looked at my phone like this and I was like, oh, yeah, all right, time to end. Goodbye. You know, so those are different times, right? You'd start drinking when DeWine came on to give the state's press conference at 3 o'clock, and you know. What were you doing during that era, Dave? Were you at Amazon still?
What?
Like during we didn't have lockdown here, but during the like stay-at-home orders and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, I was working.
Were you working
Amazon.
from home?
Amazon. No.
Oh, you were going in, and you were going in, but mostly like an office type situation.
Warehouse.
Oh, warehouse.
Well, yes. Office work in a warehouse setting.
Oh, okay. So you needed to be there to see the logistics in person, though?
Yeah.
Okay. I knew you were, because were you kind of like routing trucks and stuff like that?
In a way. Transportation, just
Transportation.
in general.
All right. So you're doing oil changes? This is like when we used to
Kicking
work at the car
tires.
washes. Town drivers would be like, oh yeah, what were we saying? Like aqua removal technicians.
Nah, a little.
It's funny, memes like that have come out. Like we were writing those jokes back in the 90s.
Right.
Oh, I guess that would be early 2000s. But
What was one I saw recently? Underwater crust remover or something like that for a dishwasher.
underwater crust remover?
Something like that.
Duzer has 182,000 subs. No, that's not enough to be a dick. Isn't Terry B bigger than that?
He's a vegetarian. I think that's the issue.
Duzer?
Mm-hmm.
That's the issue? What do you mean that's the issue?
Him and vegan cyclists?
That's not the issue. Vegan's just a douche. Like he sucks as a person. Like he's annoying. Like he does cool stuff, so he can't suck that bad. But he's just really it rubs me the wrong way. And also, it annoys me when people don't. When I feel like they don't respect the local culture, especially one that's fairly easy to understand, like the French. We're not talking about like being confused in Singapore or something. I don't know. You know, those weirdos. Like, I'm just kidding. Let's see what I'm going to say to get canceled tonight. Yeah.
I think we're already way past that.
Yeah. Yeah, we're talking jerking off in theaters. David said, I feel like a privileged celebrity with my 25 followers. Mile High said, I think Duzer said he used to work in TV or wanted to, so it's not a surprise he puts on an act. Oh, yeah, yeah. Anybody watch the channel Crack On? Andy seems like a cool guy. Oh, is that what he calls it now? Is that the one? It used to have a different name. I think it was maybe just Andy's name. The one where he restores vintage bikes, British guy? I assume that, well, the British say Crack On, but there is a guy I used to watch who restores vintage bikes, and he has a poster behind him that says Crack On now, too. So it's got to be. YouTube had, if this doesn't make any sense, YouTube just gave everybody a handle. You were able to choose it as long as you paid attention and did it in time. Since this channel was just my name, I didn't change it, but if you notice, a number of people have changed their channel, because even Dustin Klein changed it to Everything's Been Done, which I thought was weird, because I'm like, I've always thought keep it your name, but that's also someone who runs a photography business who just calls me Fitzwater. So Chris Alto, what's up? He said, I need to like Duzer. I don't know. I feel like, should I put up a poll? Like, how did I do that? There was a thing where we were able to put in a poll in here for a while. And we did some fun ones. Where did those go? Did they take that stuff away? Engage with your audience. Oh, start a poll. Nice. Huh. There we go. Jump in on that, guys. It seems like a push poll. It's a little biased from the way the question is asked, right? If you guys know what push polling is. It's like, if you knew John McCain had, murdered 25 Somali immigrants, would you vote for him? Like, if that's what push polling is, basically. That's the example off the top of my head. But it's obviously designed to sully someone's reputation right off the bat. So, anyways, answer freely, though. I lost my place in the chat now. All right. Devote said, Duzer's way too enthusiastic for you. Yeah. It's interesting. The channel I've been watching more and more lately, and me and Dave were talking about, and maybe even on the stream last week, is Burn Peak. But I think a lot of his topics don't interest me as someone who casually mountain bikes. But I feel like his presentation is so chill and calming. Is one of the reasons I actually really like his channel. And I just noticed I was watching the one on pinion drives or gearbox and planetary drives, and I don't know if it was new. The algorithm served it up to me, but like that dude has the best audio I've ever heard. So I don't know how it's so clean. I don't know where it's hiding that mic, but even when he's outside.
Wasn't that his job before all this though?
Oh, was he in television
think
or
so.
production?
Something like that.
Yeah. Terry's like that too, because I mean that's a guy who was doing giant productions, and I think he owns a full cinema camera and stuff like that even rents out. So also why he is so good at all that kind of stuff as well. Mile High said you're in Fort Collins and thought about reaching out to Duzer for a ride, but now you're terrified. Now you should. You should tell so you can report back to us if he's actually a prick in real life or not. We can't just rely on this poll to be our definitive. I mean, I will, but you shouldn't. Who was the guy who used to yell "Keep it together" way back? Keep it like to a group ride, like keep it together. I think Rick's comment. This is what Rick judges it on. In a video, Duzer, I can't even say it. It's so funny though. In a video, Duzer put 1 tablespoon of dry milk on his oatmeal and pretended it was really good. You need about a half a cup of that to even taste it. He's full of it, and it made me so mad. It's so funny because I so understand that comment because like that's basically how I started hating vegan cyclists because of like one thing like that. I mean, there's other things. That one video when he cried, and you can cry, that's fine. I'm crying from laughing right now, but it just I don't know. Whatever. I don't need a rant about the vegan. We're gonna do a vegan cyclist poll next. Who am I kidding?
You are so far behind.
Am I? I haven't watched the Gravis. What's up, Gary? By the way, an OG. The Gravel Cyclist seem like an asshat. It's just a smug Australian accent, or is it just? Are you saying, or is it just a smug Australian accent? I've only watched Spin Dad a little bit. Undecided on whether I like him or not. Haven't watched him enough to have a determination. Shane B said Jeremiah Bishop. Haven't watched him either. I do tend to stick to like. There's certain group I find I watch almost all their videos, but I don't have everyone suggests cool stuff, but I still have kind of limited time, and I don't only watch cycling videos. I watch a lot of really nerdy photography and Photoshop and Premiere Pro videos as well, because that's what actually pays my bills. So being good at that stuff is really important. And then I have like my history nerd stuff that I like to watch. I think that's about it. When I hang out with Aaron, we watch some cooking stuff on YouTube that I do enjoy, but don't watch that stuff on my own, really. Oh, Christopher Webb, I like that comment. Took your bike to your mom's house yesterday so you could recreate your first long solo ride. When you were 10 or 11, what you remembered as an epic journey turned out to be an 8-minute ride. That's funny and relevant to me because my parents haven't moved that far, and I ride over to their house for Sunday dinner sometimes, and I cut through our old neighborhood, and I think about that, how I felt like I was getting so lost when we were kids and we were going out all day riding our bikes, and how, you know, we may have gotten 5-6 miles away, but it really was never that far. Hey, Dave, do you mind beering us? Or me. I mean, you can do what you want. You're a grown man. You're a grown-ass man. Greg Silverstein said, and who doesn't hate a bad rub? Trying to catch him. Oh, really, Mulk? You've met Lucas Burnell? Lucas Burnell is obviously one of the OG bike video, you know, just influenced so many people to make bike videos. So, yeah. I feel like, I don't know, it's weird. Terry B did a Twitch live stream with him, and Lucas is so one-track mind on like getting this bike fixed. I don't know if that's how he always is. I was like, I watch this guy's videos because they're so crazy and insane, but it didn't look like someone I wanted to hang out with. And knowing that Malk's cool, so it might have just have been the day because he was so into one thing. But I could tell he was kind of annoying the shit out of Terry. Terry probably wouldn't say that, but whatever. I can say it. Oh, Dr. Bob, you were saying that some of Duzer's videos could motivate you to do certain things. Yeah, I get that. Arthur, try Arrogant Bastard Ale. Man, I haven't had it in years now, but I used to get Arrogant Bastard a lot back in the day. Used Bikes, I seen that show, but what's up, Used Bikes? But I'm so far behind that I have no idea what you were referencing. Bouncing bike life said he heard Duzer stops and kicks puppies when the cameras are off. Bobo? I don't know Bobo either. Yeah. Okay, yeah, that's Andy who restores the old bikes. Crack on. So yeah, definitely. I haven't watched the channel in a while, but used to watch it a lot, especially because I used to be fixing up the old road bikes a lot more too, which I just do less now since I just like to ride off road more. Hey, Matthew Whipple said greetings from Nebraska. Thanks. Velocipedia? Do a poll if Rick Aronofsky should start the Meat Cyclist channel. Rick has a channel. He hasn't. It's been a while since he made a video though. He had some good ride videos too. Some over the bars and everything. Oh, Redco. You're out in Nebraska also. I mentioned I have been to Stinkin' Lincoln. That's what the drunk guy at the dive bar kept saying. Welcome to Stinkin' Lincoln. So, and then the bars closed at 1 o'clock, and me and Brad walked out in the streets furious and yelling, "We drink till 2:30 in Ohio." And the Nebraskans, the Lincolnians, is that what you call them, did not seem to like us at that point very much. But we were really drunk and we passed out in his van then, because we had to get back to. I think we drove all the way back to Ohio the next day from Lincoln. Anywho. No bikes on that trip. That was early. We were doing a lot of hiking in Colorado and went to Las Vegas and up to Wyoming. But Bike Man, Yinzer, Bike Man for you, RJ still puts something out once in a while. RJ, when I first got into bike stuff on YouTube, it was Bike Man for you was one of the first ones I found. Might even order one of those sets of really cheap wheels he sold. Matthew said should get Terry B on the channel one day. He jumps in the chats out here sometimes, but I don't. It's like not fair. You need to reach out to people who are like similar to your size. Like that's, it doesn't really do Terry B any good to come on this channel. It doesn't. He's cool. I mean, we chat. He knows me by name, but yeah, it's like he would be doing me such a huge favor. There's nothing I could really return with that. So, Yeah, I guess when you guys talk about like YouTubers and being like I don't know. I guess it depends on who it is. Like Dustin Klein, once in a while, I feel like is kind of going for the clicks, but he's entertaining enough that I feel like he can do it and pull it off really, really well. It just depends on the channel and the personality. I feel like Terry B doesn't go for it and does really well. He's doing what he wants to do and does great anyway. So, but yeah. Padamanake, what's up? Maloha, my dude, has a couple cool gravel bike videos and break up their mountain bike videos. Yeah, not familiar with that one either. Malk asked about Rode wireless mics. I think they're awesome. So the Gravel Badass series is all done on Rode wireless mics, And then some of the live streams where there's just a couple, if there's two of us, I'll use the Rode wireless mics. And use them in some of my videos too, where like Dave's helped me film. We each have one on so we could talk. But yeah, I think they're great. They're super convenient. They could record themselves. They could transmit it. They could record to hard data, like memory. And you could also still plug in a better mic into those if you just want to use them as the transmitter, receiver, and not use the built-in mic. But the built-in mic with a little bit of effort in post is good enough. But yeah, we did that whole Gravel Badass series with Aaron and whoever the guest was riding next to each other with me and the audio interface I use down here on my bike. And if you go and watch those, you could tell that it worked out really, really well. So I'd totally get them if you feel like you need to. I need to watch your latest video. I haven't seen what your audio situation is yet, but Cycling About is a cool channel. I know I've seen that, and I must not be subscribed. It's popped up in the algorithm, but I'm not sure if I've watched the videos. So, oh yeah, devotee. I don't know why I have to do it with an accent. But Paul Susheki. Yeah, is his channel that small? Some of his videos have hundreds of thousands of views on bike touring. But yeah, I like his weird, almost like plain spoken and angry like presentation. Me and Large have talked about him, but yeah, I have watched a number of his videos. I'm subscribed to him. Yeah. Save Old Bikes. Yeah, I'm not familiar with Save Old Bikes. Oh, Slow Cyclist. Here we go. He said, so here's a good one. I'm guessing. I think the vegan cyclist is cool. He sends personal video messages for motivations you lost 90 pounds through. Ah, good. He does have a redeeming side. That's great to hear. Like I said, his personality and his videos rubs me the wrong way. Maybe he's an awesome, endearing dude in real life. Are people still voting? Last chance to get your, what's his name now? Duzer vote? Rick said Susheki got hit by a car. Yeah, I've heard him talk about like worrying about cars on tour and all this stuff, and I didn't know that's where it came from. Is stealing cow corn vegetarian cycling? Don't eat cow corn. I'm getting close, aren't I? Anyone hear of this Tom Mitzwater guy? And then Malk said Terry B is mega friendly. Yeah, I mean, you could just, even the video he put out today, he's out there chatting with people while he's making his videos and stuff. When I need my crusty toenail fix, I watch RJ. Doesn't he usually just have like tube socks on? He's like walking around in the garage with socks on. That's always been weird to me. Did you guys watch the video where RJ was just like, he was on a cruise and he was just answering viewer questions, and it was just like his legs up against the window? It was the whole angle for like a half hour like Q&A. I was like, that's a unique perspective. But it's interesting how early YouTubers get away, like, you know what I mean? They built the fan base so long just because they got in the game so early that it's like RJ has never upped like any level of production, right? It's like an echoey mic, tube socks and sweatpants and whatever. Then it works. I've looked up that channel for advice all the time when I was starting out. Yeah, hey viewers. Rick, I need Terry B footage of Tim petting buses. I've got footage of Rick petting buses. So we were riding in Philly, and it was So funny. I'm like, oh, I got to do the New York Terry B thing. We went by the bus as we were like blasting through the traffic, and then I was behind Rick, and he did like a pet on the bus. That was hilarious. So. Mark said, thanks, Tim. I'll check out the gravel baddest. Your lob mics are a headache. Yeah, let me know. And DM me if you want any help with that audio stuff. The one thing I did with that series is because I was really worried about making sure the audio came out because it was like half-hour rides, one take with no cuts. Is I, instead of like using the media mod and plugging them directly into the GoPro, I recorded the audio completely separate to my. Let's see if I can pick this up without it. I don't know how much my connections give me leeway here. Hey Dave, a little help?
What are you trying to do?
Can you show this on camera? Oh wait, I got it in here. That's good enough. So this was in my frame bag. Right now it's acting as an audio interface to put our two audios into the computer. But, so I was riding with this with an SD card. So to make sure that my audio was there, I actually was riding with studio monitoring headphones the whole entire time, so I could listen to Aaron and the guest talking and know nothing was cutting out or anything like that. So, but for just doing like stuff that you're doing with just a guest, if you're not like cutting it like one take, you could also, if you're using a GoPro, plug it into the media mod. If you're using a camera, plug it directly into the camera, which is what I would do in the studio situation. But yeah, for those, I was like, we're taking up a bunch of someone's time doing a bike ride. It has to be fail safe. And so that's how I actually did it. And then to make sure the camera in the back, if I was worried about like an angle or anything like that, I would reach back and make sure it was there. And I also put a camera on my handlebars, so if something kind of went wrong, I could cut to the front camera. But we usually pretty much ran it all one take, and then we would stop near the end, and I would cut to the front camera, and we would have a discussion about how we were going to end it and ride off, and then I would cut it seamlessly together. So that was the only cut in any of those videos, I believe, was a discussion like 45 seconds to a minute from the end to be like, how are we going to end this? So, yeah. Yeah, Bike Man has an oyster farm now. He really switched things up. I looked it up because the stream, we were talking about it one night. I'm like, whatever happened to Bike Man for you? And a couple of you guys told me, and so I went over and watched his oyster channel, and just don't have enough interest in oysters, but yeah, it's cool. Switch it up. Yeah, I don't know. Mark, you said you used the Zoom H1. I had a Zoom, and it was a similar form factor and size to this one. It was the H4N, I believe, and I had some problems with it. I got like really frustrated, so I switched brands. Went over to Tascam when I upgraded. I think a fairly lateral move, but yeah. So I have a broken H4N somewhere in the studio. Eric Anderson said, and what's up, Eric? Duzer is great. Live your best life. Don't watch a lot of his stuff, but respect. So, let's see what our poll came out with.
Yeah, they're calling for the results.
Is Duzer a douche? Yes, 61%. No, 38%. So there you go. No one. This is a true democracy. You don't have to. If you don't want to say which way you cast your vote, you don't have to. What do you call that? What do you call that kind of not blind democracy? Like our vote, private ballot. It's a private ballot. So it's up to you if you want to say who you voted for. Yeah. So, Mark, the Tascam here you could record dual channels. So if you accidentally peak some of the audio, you could have a second recording where you could save it from. And the Rodes do that in a certain way too now. So the new Rodes have a bunch of firmware. If you plug them into your computer, you could set a bunch of stuff to make sure you don't ruin your audio. And that's what I was saying. It's redundant recording. So with the new roads, they'll record the audio to their own thing. So say you lost the transmission over the wireless, you could plug them into your computer and get that point of audio back, which is really cool. Rode is a great, the best company. I always wish they would. I always wish there's like I want them to come out with more products. Like when I talk about having a interface here that could be a camera switcher and all that, I want Rode to make the one that I would buy because they are just like the best at supporting their stuff and upgrading it through firmware and all that. But Christopher Webb said, "I've never heard of the vegan cyclist, but those two sound but those sound like two words that, if put together, would create a smug singularity that would rip a hole in the fabric of space-time." Oh, I watch Cardboard Films. Just said I like Furby's channel. Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff on there too. I don't watch every video he puts out, but some really good ones. When he travels, like I've really liked a lot of that. So Eric Anderson, I like Pathless Pedaled, but don't paint and would never move to Europe. I can't paint, and I would move to Europe, but that's not. Neither of those are reasons why I like or dislike anything about Russ. So. Shane B said I just unsubscribed to Duzer. Dang, I wanted to like him, guys. Thanks. Cardboard asked when I'm going to put out a casquette, so a cycling cap. Thought about it in the past, and Party Size, who was here earlier, we had talked about teaming up. He ended up doing one with Joy Machines because I didn't have my shit together. One of the problems is I've just found like when I do a bunch of t-shirts or hold a bunch of stock, it ends up costing me more money, like a lot of money to order up front than I make. But we have talked about doing something because we have there's a local person who actually makes more one-off handmade caps, and Zephyr Line Works. They sell them at Joy Machines, Dirty River, Beat Cycles, and has a process that can do stuff much smaller, and then also could justify a slightly higher cost since they are handmade by a one-person show, in my opinion. So now we are talking about doing something between the three of us. Kind of, I come up with an idea, Micah draws the concept, and then Zephyr Line would make them. So, and the whole thing, then we could do some YouTube videos to show how she sews the cycling caps and like some behind the scenes with her and everything like that. So to me, like that tie-in would be a cool way to do it. I looked into like ordering Walls caps that were custom, or there's a woman in France that I follow and I really dig and makes the Paris-Roubaix caps every year. The cost would have been really, really high, and minimum orders. So this is a way that we're thinking about actually doing that. And speaking of that, like that's why I was meeting with Micah last night, the cap idea, but he also has another idea that I'm not going to get too in depth because we're not done with it yet. That'll make for a cool cycling product that won't be mine, it'll be his, but I'm going to help him promote because I think a lot of you might be into it. So we'll see. Anywho. Who are Dana and Amelia? Do you know, Dave?
No. I don't know any of these people you guys are talking about.
You don't know any of them? No. Malk said, oh, by the way, do pre-orders. Pre-orders are definitely the way to do things now, and I wish I had known that when I, started doing stuff. There's a different Grab shirt that Mike had done, and he printed a one-off that I wear sometimes on the stream that I actually love, and a number of you guys have said you'd be interested in it, but if I do that, it would be a pre-order, and then you just make a couple extra to have some for sale. Malk, you said the print on your industrial gravel has nearly washed off. Do you remember, did you order that through like my site now that's my photography site, or did you order that back when I had the print on demand? Because that's kind of why I've stopped doing the print on demand stuff, because I realized, well, I think I first noticed it in a Lanky Cyclist video how cracked all the um, ink was. But the modern ones are like the ones that Micah makes for me are like what I'm wearing right now. These are screen printed then heat treated, and this shirt like right here has been washed tons of times and it holds up. So yeah, anyone who ordered the print on demand ones back in the day, I am sorry because I have some and they do wear off, which is really annoying. Micah shirts don't, or they shouldn't. So, and also the problem with the print on demand is even if you ordered multiple of things, they wouldn't give you a break on shipping. They charged everything individually. I think their whole system was automated, and that's how they were able to keep prices down so low, which is nice. And it's easy for when you're starting out as a creator to be able to offer something, but I've moved away from that. So. Shane B said, "What's on the shelves behind me looks like you're in a damn pantry." It's all my bike stuff. So these are all bike parts and stuff from bike rides and bike races. We're doing the shallow depth of field thing tonight, so yeah, they're not very clear. But when we do bike builds and like live streams where I'm working on bikes, I've got my park tools and Pedro tools. But oh, everything's backwards here. So and then there's like so there's shelves full of handlebars and bike parts, but then just other cycling paraphernalia I've collected. Ton of pedals over here. Those are all bike pedals. Yeah, but Redco said Duzer is living rent free in y'all's minds. It's so funny. Like I said, I've only watched a few of his videos, so he's not really, except for tonight. But and Cardboard Film said, "Love the idea of filming the cat making process." Yeah, look up Zephyrline. I should grab a link. This is why we're trying to figure out how Dave could produce these, so he could be grabbing this link while we're talking. But drop it for you guys because very cool. And like, she does some complete one-offs. Like she'll like find some really cool fabric at the thrift store and make some caps, and then obviously the price would be higher on those ones. But does other runs of stuff. But yeah, really unique and some stuff that's super local, like one that looks like a Cleveland Browns helmet. So, Instagram search would usually does pretty good for me, knowing that it's someone that I follow. So, oh, there we go. Yeah, so check that out. Now I start scrolling and I could also pull them up. I have the Instagram up too, right? Yeah, but all tasteful. Yeah, all super unique type stuff. A little different than your typical cycling cap thing where they just do a whole run of one like logo or something like that. Yeah. What else you guys saying? Rad Bike Adventures was great. Yeah, me and Aaron watched them. The only thing once in a while I thought was funny was on Rad Bike Adventures when they'd be like, how did, like, they do some how-to videos that I thought were like kind of, it would be like, how to do like a bike tour. Then she'd be like, whether you want to go for, 5 weeks, 5 months, or 5 years. And I'm like, well, no. You don't teach people how to do a bike. Like, people's first bike tour aren't 5 years. Like, or five. What I'm exaggerating. But there was a couple things where I'm like, don't people have to work, like, ever? Like I'm going to give you advice on your first bike tour, and it's going to be years long? I don't know, whatever. But, yeah, there was some good stuff on there. She had long COVID. I think that was the big problem with her channel. COVID was keeping her off the bike because there was an update 5-6 months ago, maybe. But Redco, I'm in Cuyahoga Falls, right on the Akron border. So Cuyahoga Falls. Yeah, gotta say it so people understand it. There was who was it? The Ohio and Erie Trail Association just put out a pronunciation sheet of like how you say different cities, like Massillon, because and it's funny when I do watch videos of people doing Ohio to Erie who aren't from here. I'm like, Massillon, and you're like, that's not how you say it. And, you know, Akron, it's Akron. We say it with an I. No one says Akron, except Tony Tropy. None of you know him. Doesn't matter. But it's Akron, Ohio. But Erin actually asked me once, she said, how do you say the city you live in, or like the river? And I was like, the Cuyahoga River? Cuyahoga Falls? And she goes, is that really how you say it? And I thought about it for a minute. I'm like, Cuyahoga Falls? Yeah, we drop like every syllable.
Oh, yeah.
Cuyahoga River. But if you're thinking about it, you would say Cuyahoga. If you're talking to someone who's not from here, you'd probably say Cuyahoga. But in normal conversation, we'd say Cuyahoga. Used bikes. I haven't had a big problem with dogs. We heard some barking on our gravel ride in the last video, and I got a little nervous. I mean, there was a woman who just got seriously mauled here in Ohio on a gravel trail. My problems have been more actually in my problems have been in the rougher neighborhoods of Akron, where a dog has run off a porch and almost got us. But yeah, so I've been lucky. Just been lucky, I guess. Oh, Mark, you said it was the spring thing. Yeah. I wouldn't mind giving you I'll bring you a screen printed one. I'll hit you up. If we get a meetup to do the video, I'll bring you a screen printed shirt that Micah made. Yeah, the Teespring thing, like I said, they're cool at first. They make it affordable for people like me to be able to sell stuff, but yeah, they don't hold up, which really sucks. So Eric Anderson said watch some more of his videos, and he's wanting to switch the gunner to belt drive. No. Well, couldn't. Like, those bikes that have internal gearing need, well, I guess you could do it with a hub, with a certain hub, right? You could run multiple gears, but yeah. I already have a wax chain on the gunner. That's about as far out of my comfort zone as I've ever been. It's through axles. This is new technology bullshit. Dave Jang said, "What's with the Duzer hate today?" It was a joke more than anything. People have strong opinions on him, and I actually don't. So yeah,
A joke that hasn't ended.
a joke that keeps going. A life joke. We-
Super flat.
Yeah, it was flattening the whole ride last night. Redco said, I ordered an Ohio map because you want to do the OTET, but you plan to buy a cheap 700C off the shelves at Walmart for that? And when you're done, you're going to give it away somehow. Oh, that's not the way I'd want to do it, but yeah, you do you. But the OTET, they have their own maps. I don't know, maybe that's what you meant, but you could buy like the actual map of the route. For me, we use the GPX files on our computers. If you're serious about doing that, though, anyone who's serious about doing the OTET, if you want to do it as planned, you can. There are some sections that are mind-numbingly boring south of Columbus that I've done once, and we've skipped every time since and made the route more interesting. But Drew Carey is truly from Cleveland, and it does rock. He became a real conservative, though, which is fine if you're one, but I'm not, and fuck Drew Carey now. He is. He became he went off kind of the rails. Do you remember
Really?
that? Yeah.
Is that Wheel of Fortune?
Wheel
Yeah,
of Fortune?
Fortune.
No, the Drew Carey show.
Yeah, I know, but he's the host of.
Is he the host of Wheel of Fortune now?
Yeah.
Yeah, just like a conservative, he thinks, you just go on a game show and that's how you'll make it. Just kidding. OTED is Ohio to Erie Trail. So Ohio to Erie? Ohio to Erie Trail? Is that what it's saying? Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
Doesn't sound right.
Ohio River to Lake Erie. There's a route through Ohio, and it takes in mostly bike paths and then some country roads. So me and Aaron and Large Marge and Funny Brad have done it, I think, 4 times. We did it once as it's designed, and then the 3 years after that modified it. That was our 4th of July trip, what we did now in Michigan this year. So. Oh yeah, sorry, Pudgy. Pudgy likes his section of flat trail with telephone poles, like looks like a cartoon from Roadrunner, as far as the eye can see.
Price is Right, sorry.
He's the host of Price is Right. That's right. Yeah, I knew that. Yeah. Drew Carey is a douche. We need a poll. I read some article he wrote, and it was very particular to Ohio, and I was like, after that, and still right now, fuck Drew Carey. But yeah. Pudgy never said he liked it. What? Drew Carey had that other show I used to watch a lot where they just like acted shit out.
Whose line is it anyway?
Whose line is it anyway? Yeah, that was entertaining. Then he became a fucking fascist. It wasn't even that dramatic. It's not like he said something racist or anything. It was like policy I disagreed with. I felt like it had maybe even though there was a bent that was like hating poor people type shit. I don't know. I can't remember. Fuck them anyways. I know my intuition is right. Followed politics long enough. I know I read it. I know I didn't like it, and I'm still mad about it, even though I don't know what it is. You know, when you're in a hole, you just keep digging. That's my philosophy for right now.
That explains. I forget who asked the question. Why we're hating on Duzer.
Oh, yeah, just went down that road for no reason.
You get in a hole, just keep digging.
Yeah. Drew Carey truly loves powdered milk. Does he use enough of it, though? Christopher Webb, yeah. The bike path from Cincinnati to Loveland is part of the Ohio to Erie Trail. Yeah, Ohio to Erie Trail. Yep. Yeah, so the first 2 years we did it, we came from here, so that was at the end. The third year we did it, we came from Cincinnati, so that was at the beginning. But yeah, Loveland was cool. There's a little brewery there that's really good. Drew Carey versus Ryan Duzer, which is worst, or the vegan cyclist? So, like I said, I've only watched a few Ryan Duzer videos. I definitely hate the vegan cyclist more than him. When it comes to Drew Carey, can I compare him to the vegan cyclist? I mean, I feel like the vegan cyclist will at least vote for the people I want him to vote for. I don't know. I should probably wrap this one up tonight, right? This can't get any better. Right?
I think we might have crusted.
Yeah, we're we're on the downslide, right? Is that what they say? Is that a bike swap? What? Love a good callback. Ludicrous speed really quickly. Yeah. When I start to go downhill, it's never slow. I guess that's just like bikes, right? Well, with that joke, we are going to end it because that was the worst I could possibly do. Yeah, 10:34. We'll keep it a short one tonight, and I'll change the title of this video because we never talked about the topic. I think we will maybe get into that next week. We'll see where it goes. Maybe I'll fucking talk about how much I hate the vegan cyclist and Drew Carey again. You never know. Yeah, fuck those dudes. Unless you like them, then that's cool. And still watch my videos because you like them because I don't really hate them that much. I'm just kidding. You don't have to watch my videos. Fuck the vegan cyclist. All right, see ya.
Okay, okay, bye.
All right.
Okay,
Yeah.
this time.
Fitzwater photo.